Today we're looking at comparing and ordering real numbers. Your essential question is, how do I compare and order numbers numerically? Your learning intention, I'm learning how to compare and order numbers. You have 4 warm-up questions. Please pause the video and see if you can do those warm-up questions on your own. Well, I do hope you tried, and I hope that this is simply a check to make sure you're okay on your answer. So I'm looking at negative 12 plus 7. When you think about it, negative 12 is in the negative part of your number line. You're going towards 0, 7 units. So I will find their difference. 12 minus 7 is 5. I look at the numbers, which is bigger. The 12 is a bigger number than 7, so this becomes negative 5, because you have not been able to pass 0 by only going up 7 units. Likewise, over here, it's negative 10, so I'm starting at negative 10, minus 17 more. That means I'm continuing to go down the number line. Combine them with addition. 10 plus 17 is 27. Both of them are negative, that remains negative. What happens though with multiplication and division? We know that negative divided by a negative number is a positive number. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So that becomes a positive 3. We also know that a positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. Hopefully you were able to answer all of those 4 questions correctly. So now we're going to look at how to put numbers in numerical order. So how do I put the numbers in order from the least to the greatest when I have decimals? As I look at this, what I notice is they all have 1 point something. This is 1.2, 1.0, 1.6, 1.9. Since the first digit is the same, I go to the tenths and I look at which is the smallest there. So I've got a 2, 0, 6, 9. 0 is the smallest number. So the smallest number here is 1.056. Okay, I've got 2, 6, 9. 2 is next. 1.25. 6 and a 9. Well, 6 is smaller than 9. 1.634, and then 1.98. Well, that's really fine and dandy, but what if the first 2 are the same? So 3, 3, 3. Oh, this one here definitely will be the largest number because it is a 4. So I know that's the biggest. But how do I order the other 3? Well, we go over to one more digit, and that's how we order them. I've got 0, 5, 3, so I will start off with 2.305. 3 is next. 2.333. Now we know this is the biggest, so the next will be 2.357. And finally 2.4. And we are done. The smallest to the greatest. Okay, let's think about negative numbers. Okay, if the 10th digits are the same, you go to the 100th digits, etc. So if I want to order them on the number line, it's kind of going backwards from what the positive line is, because now as I go in the negative direction, the base will get bigger. So if you've noticed, I've kind of really made it weird. This would be negative 6.1, 6.2, negative 6.3, negative 6.4, negative 6.5, and negative 6.6. So if I'm looking at these, I'm going to, first of all, look at that second digit. Okay, 6.08. If this is 6.1, 6.08 will be really close in here. Okay, I've got 6.1 and 6.1, or 6.12 and 6.19. So this time I have to go one more digit over. Now 6.119, I know it's going to be really close to 6.2. Where 6.12, if this is 6.18, 6.08, 6.12 is going to be really close to 6.1. And that leaves me with 6.67. If this is 6.66, then 6.67, this would be negative 6.7. Negative 6.67 would be somewhere in here. Any questions? I think I'm going to change the color here to a green, so it will show up just a little bit better than what it is with that orange. Okay. Okay. How do we use a number line to solve problems? Okay, so where would be 40 on this number line? I have to think and I have to analyze. I go from 0 to 25, so I'm looking, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means each of these tick marks is worth 5. So this would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I know that 40 is less than 50. So this is 50, and I'm going to go back down. This would be 45, and this would be 40. So this is 40. I'm going in the negative direction, 65 units. So I do know that to here This would be 40 units. But I need to go another 25. So I've gone a total of 65 units. I'm at negative 25. I can also look at it as finding their difference. 65 minus 40 is 25. The base, which is 65, is larger than the base, which is 40, so this remains a negative number. But what happens if we have multiple parts to the problem? You just do them one at a time. So I start out at negative 50. I need to go another 25 units. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I come all the way down to here. That's my minus 25. Now I'm at negative 75. But you don't minus a negative. You always plus the positive. So I'm going to start at 75, negative 75. I go up 30, so this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I end up at negative 45. So negative 50 plus negative 25 is negative 75. They're both negative, add them together. Negative 75 plus 30, I'm coming back up that number line, leaves me at negative 45. 75 minus 30 is 45. The negative is with the larger number, which is 75, so it remains in the negatives. Okay, now, one of the things that we get to see a lot when you get older, if you're reading different articles, you'll see tables. So we're looking at a table that shows the elevation of 4 different cities. If sea level is 0 feet, which city has an elevation that is farthest from the sea level? I've got 72, I've got negative 15, 102, and negative 1. Which number is farthest from 0? That would be Wellville. So, Wellville is the farthest from the sea level. What if I would have had one that was negative 150? Would it be further from sea level than Wellville? Actually, yes, because we're looking at the absolute value. What is the difference between the elevation of the city with the highest elevation and the city with the lowest elevation? Well, let's look at which one's the highest, which is Wellsville, which one is the lowest, which is Havenhill. To find the total distance, you would use absolute value. The absolute value of 102 plus the absolute value of negative 15. 102 plus 15 is equal to 117 feet. Okay. If you're looking at total distance, you've got to find the distance both of them are from 0, which is an absolute value, and then add that absolute value together. Okay. The value in your savings account is negative $21. You then deposit money into your savings account. Circle all the amounts that could represent your account balance after the deposit. Okay, do we know how much is put in? No. Then how are we going to solve this? Think about it logically. If you're adding money, that means you're coming closer to 0 or actually bypassing it. So any number has got to be greater than 21. So if I start looking, is 100 greater than negative 21? Yes. Is negative 32 greater than negative 21? No. Is negative 15 greater than negative 21? Yes. What about 0? Yeah. Is negative 5 greater than 21? Yes. What about 55? Yes again. What about negative 24? Nope. But 3 also. How do you know when you're successful? You know you're successful when you can identify which numbers are larger and apply that knowledge to real-world problems. So we are talking about comparing numbers and ordering them numerically. You might say, but we didn't talk about adding them with the number line. That falls under comparing numbers. So I hope that you have gotten the process down better.